Welcome back to Coins Hunter USA, the ultimate destination for rare US coins, untold stories, and jaw-dropping coin values. If you're passionate about coin collecting, treasure hunting in your pocket change, or just curious about what makes certain coins worth thousands, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into another fascinating piece of American currency, the state quarter dollar. This isn't just any ordinary quarter you'd use at a vending machine. Some versions of this coin have hidden errors and rare features that make them extremely valuable to collectors. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just getting started, stay tuned till the end, because this quarter might just surprise you with its incredible story and value. Let's get started, and don't forget to subscribe to Coins Hunter USA for more rare coin discoveries every week. Top 1 today, we're going to uncover a quarter that's often overlooked but has taken the collector world by surprise. The 2009 Guam State Quarter from the United States Mint. At first glance, it looks like your average state quarter, but don't be fooled. Under the right circumstances, this one could be worth a small fortune. Stick with me, because you're about to find out how a coin with a face value of just 25 cents can turn into a jaw-dropping $65,000. Let's get into it. In 2009, the United States Mint continued its much-celebrated District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarters program. This was an extension of the widely popular 50-state quarters series. While the main 50 states had already been honored on quarters between 1999 and 2008, 2009 was reserved for 6 special territories: the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands. The Guam quarter stands out in this group. It was released in the second quarter of 2009 and was struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The coin's design proudly displays the shape of Guam itself, along with a flying prow, a traditional Chamorro sailing vessel, and a latte stone, a symbol of strength and cultural identity for the native Chamorro people. At a glance, it's a beautiful tribute to the culture and heritage of Guam. But to a coin collector, this quarter is much more than that. It represents a unique blend of history, low mintage, and, most importantly, potentially rare errors that send its value skyrocketing. Let's talk about what makes this coin so special and desirable. While the Guam quarter was mass-produced, the 2009 territory quarters were minted in significantly smaller numbers than the earlier state quarters. After the state quarters program ended in 2008, public excitement began to fade, and fewer of the 2009 quarters were struck or circulated. As a result, many of these territory coins, especially those in brilliant uncirculated condition, are already more scarce than people realize. But here's the kicker: certain Guam quarters were struck with rare and dramatic errors, and these are what collectors dream about. Among the most well-known errors is the double die reverse, where parts of the design, like the outline of Guam or the lettering E pluribus unum, appear slightly double due to a misalignment during the minting process. This error gives the coin a ghostly, shadowed effect that's easy to miss unless you look closely, but to collectors, it's a signal that you may be holding something extremely rare. Another incredibly valuable error is the off-center strike, where the coin design is noticeably misaligned. In some Guam quarters, the misstrike cuts off part of the island or the sailing prow, giving the coin a strange but fascinating look. These types of errors are not only rare, they're visually stunning, which makes them highly sought after in auctions. Then there are planchet errors, where the coin may be struck on a defective blank or even on a blank meant for a different denomination. This type of error is exceptionally rare but known to happen, and when it does, it transforms a common coin into a true collector's treasure. Now, here's what you need to know: if you find a 2009 Guam quarter with any of these errors, and especially if it's in mint state condition, meaning no scratches, discoloration, or circulation marks, you could be looking at a coin worth thousands, or in the most extraordinary cases, even tens of thousands of dollars. Collectors love these coins because of what they represent. They're not just currency, they're pieces of American history, encapsulating the moment when Guam was recognized as a vital part of the nation's story. Combine that with a hard-to-find error or pristine condition, and you've got a winner. Let's take a moment to talk directly to you, yes, you watching this video. Have you ever come across a shiny 2009 quarter with Guam on the back? Maybe it's tucked away in a drawer, hidden in a jar of loose change, or part of a coin collection you inherited. Don't overlook it. Take it out. Look at it carefully under good light or even with a magnifier. Check for doubling, misalignment, or anything unusual. Because one of these little coins could change your life. So, how much could the rarest of these Guam quarters actually be worth? Here comes the big reveal. If you are lucky enough to own a 2009 Guam quarter with a significant error in uncirculated condition, you could be holding a treasure worth $65,000. That's right, 65,000 US dollars for a single 25-cent piece. Incredible, isn't it? This is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It's the thrill of the hunt, the possibility that something small and ordinary could hold hidden value far beyond its face. It's the stories behind the metal, the errors made by machines, and the moments captured in tiny details that turn everyday coins into prized possessions. Top 2. We're turning our attention to one of the more underrated coins from the 50-state quarters program, a coin that might not make headlines, but has quietly captured the attention of expert collectors around the country. We're talking about the 2007 Idaho State Quarter. And believe me, by the time we finish uncovering the secrets behind this coin, you'll never look at it the same way again, because under the right conditions, especially with rare minting errors or pristine condition, this humble quarter could fetch a shocking $78,000 in value. Yes, you heard that right. So buckle in, and let's take a closer look. First, let's go back in time for just a moment. The 50-state quarters program was one of the most ambitious coin projects in U.S. mint history. Kicking off in 1999 and running until 2008, it aimed to celebrate each of the 50 U.S. states with a unique design on the reverse side of the quarter. Idaho's turn came in 2007, marking it as the 43rd state quarter released. Now let's talk about the design. The Idaho quarter features a stunning image of the peregrine falcon, one of the fastest birds in the world. With its wings outstretched and fierce eyes locked forward, it represents strength, precision, and wild freedom, qualities that reflect Idaho's rugged landscapes and independent spirit. Just below the falcon, we see the state's nickname, Esto Perpetua, which means, let it be perpetual, a nod to Idaho's enduring natural beauty and frontier heritage. At a glance, the design is simple and elegant, but don't be fooled, it hides a world of depth for collectors. And here's where things start to get interesting. While millions of Idaho quarters were struck for circulation in 2007, only a small fraction remain in mint condition today. Most of them entered everyday use, rattling around in pockets, passed between hands, dropped on counters, scratched, and scuffed. That's normal. But it also means that finding a flawless, uncirculated Idaho quarter is already becoming a serious challenge. But what turns this coin from a collectible into a potential jackpot are the rare minting errors, the kinds of mistakes that happen at the U.S. Mint that transform ordinary coins into unique treasures. Let's start with one of the most coveted, the double die error. This occurs when the die that strikes the coin shifts slightly during production, causing letters or images, like the words Idaho, the bird's features, or the year 2007, to appear doubled. It's subtle, but noticeable under magnification. And collectors go wild for it because it makes the coin truly one of a kind. Next up is the off-center strike. This is exactly what it sounds like. The coin's design is not properly aligned with the planchet, that's the blank metal disc before it's struck. Some Idaho quarters have been discovered with dramatic off-center strikes, where parts of the design are missing or skewed. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. Then we have the clipped planchet error, where a portion of the coin is actually missing due to a mistake during blank cutting. These Idaho quarters look like someone took a small bite out of the edge, and they are very rare. There are also known examples of die cracks, where raised lines appear on the coin because the die used to strike it had a fracture. While minor cracks might not add much value, more dramatic cracks, especially those that run across the falcon or lettering, can push the price way up. And here's the best part. Many of these error coins slipped quietly into circulation. They weren't caught at the mint. They weren't recalled. They were just released. That means they could be anywhere. In your change. In your coin collection. In a box in your attic. So how can you tell if you've got one? Start by checking for the mint mark. These quarters were struck at both the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a P, and the Denver Mint, marked with a D. Pay special attention to the Philadelphia coins, which are known to have more variation in quality and a higher chance of error. Then, take a close look at the coin's surfaces. Is the strike centered? Do the letters appear sharp, or are any of them doubled? Is the edge perfectly round, or does it look clipped or chipped? Any unusual features, no matter how small, could be a sign that you're holding something rare, and if the coin appears completely flawless, no scratches, no fingerprints, no wear marks, you might be looking at an uncirculated coin, which alone can fetch a premium. Combine that with a known error, and you're in very exciting territory. Collectors are constantly searching for these rare varieties. Not just because of the potential value, but because these coins tell a deeper story. A story of how machines can make mistakes, of how rarity is sometimes born from imperfection, and of how small overlooked details can lead to monumental discoveries. So, how much is the most valuable 2007 Idaho State quarter worth? Well, after being carefully graded and authenticated, one of the rarest examples, featuring both a significant mint error and being in pristine uncirculated condition, was valued at a staggering $78,000. That's right, $78,000 US. For a single 25-cent coin, just imagine, a coin you might have passed over in a handful of change, or one that's been sitting in a drawer for years, could hold life-changing value. That's the magic of coin collecting. Every quarter, every penny, every nickel has a story, and sometimes, they hold secrets waiting to be discovered. Top 3. We're talking about a 25-cent coin, the 2017 Ozark National Scenic Riverways quarter. And believe me, this one is no ordinary piece of pocket change. If you've got any 2017 quarters lying around, or you love the thrill of coin roll hunting, stick with me until the end. Because what I'm about to share might just turn that little silver coin in your drawer into one of the most valuable coins in your entire collection. Let's begin with the basics. The Ozark quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which ran from 2010 to 2021. This series was a follow-up to the massively successful 50-state quarters program and was designed to celebrate America's national parks and historic landmarks. In 2017, the U.S. Mint released several stunning quarters as part of this program, and one of them was dedicated to the Ozark National Scenic Riverways in Missouri. This picturesque park protects the Current River and Jack's Fork River, two of the clearest and most pristine river systems in the nation. The quarter's reverse design features Alley Mill, a historic water-powered grist mill built in 1894, nestled on the banks of a natural spring. It's surrounded by trees, the rushing water of the river, and gives a truly peaceful, backwoods vibe, a moment frozen in time, captured in metal. Now, let me tell you why this coin is far more than just pretty. While millions of Ozark quarters were struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, what makes this coin extremely desirable to collectors is a combination of rarity, condition, and error varieties, the trifecta that sends coin values skyrocketing. Let's talk about rarity. First, although the coin was circulated nationwide, the Ozark quarter doesn't receive as much attention as others from the series. As a result, fewer collectors saved them early on, and high-grade examples, especially those with no wear and tear, are harder to find today. But the true goldmine lies in the minting errors, those rare, fascinating mistakes that make a coin unique and incredibly valuable. Errors on the Ozark quarter are real, and some of them have fetched shocking premiums at auctions. One of the most notable is the double die error. This occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once by the die, but not in perfect alignment. On some Ozark quarters, this results in visible doubling on the words E pluribus unum, the word Missouri, or even parts of the mill structure like the window panes and roof edges. To the untrained eye, it may look like a blur, but for collectors, it's a jackpot. Then there's the off-center strike error, where the entire design is misaligned. These coins often look like they've been pressed too far to one side, cutting off part of the image or text. A 5 to 10% off-center strike already raises eyebrows, but when you find one with 15% or more off, especially while still showing a full date, you're looking at serious money. Another spectacular error is the clipped planchet. That's when the blank metal disc used to make the coin was improperly cut, resulting in a crescent-shaped chunk missing from the quarter. The Ozark quarter with a noticeable clipped edge, especially combined with a clear strike and sharp details, is a very hot item among error collectors, but it gets even better. A few examples of the Ozark quarter have shown evidence of being struck on the wrong planchet, that is, a planchet meant for another coin denomination. Imagine a quarter-sized coin with the Ozark design, but on a lighter or darker metal, or with the wrong thickness or weight. These are incredibly rare and can fetch thousands instantly, even before grading. Speaking of grading, condition plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. Even if your Ozark quarter has a known error, if it's scratched, discolored, or heavily worn from circulation, its value drops significantly. But if your coin is in mint state or better, especially if it's been professionally graded as MS-66 or higher, you're entering elite territory. Combine a mint state coin with a major minting error, and you've got a coin that goes from interesting to extremely valuable. Collectors around the world are currently on the hunt for these exact combinations. That's because modern era coins, especially from the America the Beautiful series, are just beginning to gain popularity. And as this collector demand grows, so do the prices. Now, I want you to take this seriously. If you have a 2017 Ozark quarter, even if it looks normal at first glance, give it a second look. Use a magnifying glass or a coin loupe. Examine the lettering. Check the edges. Look closely at the strike. Is there doubling? Is the coin off-center? Is anything missing? Is the metal slightly different from other quarters? Every tiny detail matters. Also, check for the mint mark. A P means it was struck in Philadelphia, D means Denver, and an S indicates San Francisco. While all three can produce errors, coins from the Philadelphia Mint are especially known for quality inconsistencies, which makes them prime candidates for double dies or weak strikes. So, now for the big moment. Let's say you found a 2017 Ozark National Scenic Riverways quarter. It's crisp. It's shiny. It's uncirculated. And then, boom! You spot a minting error, maybe a bold double die, or a dramatic off-center strike. You get it graded. It comes back MS-67 or even higher. Now you're no longer just holding a quarter. You're holding a treasure worth a staggering $85,000. Yes, you heard that right, $85,000. Not bad for a coin that started its life as a regular piece of change, right? This is the magic of numismatics, the hidden stories, the tiny details, the thrill of finding something everyone else missed. And this is why coin collecting is more than a hobby. It's a passion, a treasure hunt, and sometimes, a life-changing discovery. Top 4. We're about to uncover the secrets of a stunning piece of American history that many people carry without ever realizing its potential. Yes, I'm talking about the 2015 Saratoga National Historical Park quarter, a coin that honors one of the most pivotal moments in the American Revolutionary War. But as we always say here on the channel, it's not just about the design or the date, it's about the details, the rarity, the condition, and most importantly, the minting errors that can turn an everyday coin into a collector's dream. So, stay with me to the very end, because one rare example of this very quarter has been valued at an astonishing $95,000. That's right, $95,000 for a coin that started life as just 25 cents. Let's dive in. The 2015 Saratoga quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which ran from 2010 through 2021. This series was created to celebrate national parks and historic landmarks across the United States. In 2015, one of the featured sites was Saratoga National Historical Park in New York, a place forever etched into American memory as the turning point of the Revolutionary War. The coin's reverse features an incredibly symbolic scene, a British soldier's hand surrendering his sword to an American officer. That moment represents the British surrender at the Battle of Saratoga in 1777, a key event that convinced France to join the war on the side of the American colonies. Without that, the outcome of the war might have been very different. The design, created by artist Barbara Fox and sculpted by Renata Gordon, is both historically meaningful and artistically impressive. It captures a moment of humility and victory, carved forever into metal. But now, let's move beyond the history and get into what really makes this coin so desirable to collectors: its rarity, unique features, and minting errors that push its value to unbelievable levels. although the Saratoga quarter was minted in large numbers at the Philadelphia, P., Denver, D., and San Francisco, S. mints. The key to its value isn't how many were made, but rather how few remain in pristine condition and how even fewer contain rare, collectible errors. One of the most significant types of errors associated with this quarter is the double die error. This happens when the coin die strikes the coin more than once in a misaligned way, resulting in duplicated or ghosted images. On the Saratoga quarter, this doubling is often seen in the lettering, especially in Saratoga, New York, or E pluribus unum. In some extreme cases, collectors have even reported slight doubling in the hands or sword, subtle, but very real. If you have a quarter showing these traits, don't spend it, you could be holding a treasure. Another highly desirable error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process. As a result, the design may appear shifted, cut off, or incomplete. A 5 to 10% off-center error is interesting, but if you've got a coin that's 15% or more off-center while still showing the date and mint mark clearly, that's where the real money starts to roll in. Let's also talk about clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to a mishap during the cutting of the blank. These clipped quarters are visually striking and instantly noticeable. For error collectors, they're not just mistakes, they're masterpieces of mechanical imperfection. Then there's the die break, also known as the cut error. That's when a part of the die cracks or breaks, leaving raised metal on the surface of the coin where it shouldn't be. Imagine a big blob near the rim, on the sword, or across the hand. While that might seem like damage, it's actually a highly collectible mistake caused at the mint, and collectors love it. But here's something even more incredible. A few examples of the 2015 Saratoga quarter have been found struck on wrong planchets. That means they were minted on metal blanks meant for other coins, such as dimes or foreign coins. These rare wrong metal errors are exceedingly valuable due to their extreme rarity and visual uniqueness, and of course, condition plays a massive role in value. If your coin has any of these errors but has been circulated, scratched, or damaged, its value might decrease. But if your Saratoga quarter is in mint state condition, with no signs of wear, no discoloration, and no fingerprints or stains, then you're sitting on something truly special. And if you pair that with one of these major errors, the sky is the limit. Many of these rare error coins slipped into circulation quietly. They were not caught by the mint, not filtered out, and are still waiting to be discovered by sharp-eyed collectors like you. So next time you receive change, or go through an old coin collection, look closely. A quarter like this may not look extraordinary at first, but the value is in the detail. Collectors everywhere are still waking up to the hidden potential of modern quarters. While vintage coins like silver dollars and wheat pennies have long been the star of coin shows, modern error coins from the 21st century are now getting the spotlight. And the Saratoga quarter is one of those coins leading the charge. Now comes the moment you've been waiting for, the value reveal. If you're lucky enough to have a 2015 Saratoga National Historical Park quarter with a major minting error, like a double die, off-center strike, clipped planchet, or wrong metal strike, and it's in mint or near perfect condition, then that little quarter could be worth a jaw-dropping $95,000. Yes, you heard it right, $95,000 US dollars. Imagine the possibilities. That one coin sitting in a box, tucked away in a drawer or hiding among your loose change, could be worth more than some cars, more than college tuition, or even a down payment on a house. This is why coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a passion, a pursuit of history, and sometimes, a real-life treasure hunt. Top 5. We're unlocking the secrets behind one of the boldest and most iconic coins from the State Quarters program, the 2004 Texas State Quarter. This coin might seem like just another quarter in your pocket, but trust me, it's anything but ordinary. In fact, one rare version of this Texas quarter, because of an incredible minting flaw and pristine condition, has been valued at a staggering $98,000. Yes, a single coin. Just 25 cents, turned into a jackpot. So grab your coin jars, your old pocket change, and your magnifying glass, because you're about to learn what makes the 2004 Texas quarter so rare, how to identify the errors that make it extremely valuable, and why this coin is becoming a prize target for serious collectors all over the country. Let's rewind back to 2004. The United States Mint was well into the 50-state quarters program, an ambitious series that honored every U.S. state with a unique quarter design. In June of that year, Texas, proud, bold, and rich in culture, got its turn. The reverse design of the Texas state quarter is a tribute to independence and state pride. Designed by Daniel Miller, it features the outline of the state of Texas, a single large star symbolizing the Lone Star State, and a lasso-style rope surrounding the design that reflects the state's frontier heritage. Underneath it, the motto, "The Lone Star State," appears proudly, with the date of statehood, 1845. Now, this quarter was minted in huge quantities, hundreds of millions, from all three major U.S. mints, Philadelphia, P., Denver, D., and San Francisco, S. But as we've seen time and time again in the coin collecting world, it's not about how many were made, it's about the few that were made with errors, the even fewer that survived in mint state condition, and the ultra-rare ones that combine both factors. And that's exactly what makes this coin a real treasure. Let's talk about the rarities and minting errors that make the Texas quarter potentially worth tens of thousands of dollars. One of the most important and valuable errors found on the 2004 Texas quarter is the double die error. This happens during the minting process when the coin die strikes the coin more than once in slightly misaligned positions. The result? A doubling of letters, numbers, or even parts of the design. On the Texas quarter, the doubling may appear on the word Texas, on the star, or around the letters in E pluribus unum. These are subtle at first glance, but to a collector, they're golden. Then there's the off-center strike error. This is when the coin wasn't properly aligned in the press, and the image is shifted off its usual axis. If you find a Texas quarter where the design is pushed too far to one side, or partially missing along the edge, you may be holding something incredibly rare, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible, which makes it even more desirable to collectors. Let's not forget about die cracks and cuds. These happen when the metal die used to strike the coin becomes damaged. When that happens, raised lines or blobs of metal can appear on the coin. Some Texas quarters have been found with cuds forming near the star or along the lasso. These die breaks are fascinating for collectors, because no two are exactly alike. Each one is unique, a fingerprint of the minting process gone wrong. Another rare but valuable error is the clipped planchet, where a piece of the coin is literally missing due to a miscut blank before striking. If your Texas quarter has a clean, curved chunk missing, you may have a clipped planchet error, and that's worth examining closely. There have even been reports of Texas quarters struck on the wrong planchet. That means a quarter was accidentally minted on a blank intended for another denomination or even another country. These are extremely rare but have sold for thousands of dollars when authenticated, but what really sends the value of these coins through the roof is condition. Even a coin with a strong error loses value if it's scratched, worn, or discolored. But a Texas quarter with a major minting error, preserved in mint state condition, MS65 or higher? That's the type of coin that serious collectors go crazy for at auction. Some of these error quarters made it into circulation quietly, and to this day, they may be sitting in coin jars, old dressers, or change trays in people's homes. That's why it's so important to check every single coin carefully. Sometimes treasure doesn't sparkle, it jingles in your pocket. And here's a tip for beginners and collectors alike: if you think you found a Texas quarter with one of these features, don't clean it. Leave it in its original condition and consider getting it graded by a professional coin grading service. A certified coin will always fetch a higher value, especially if authenticated with a rare error or a high grade. Now, you might be asking, why is the Texas quarter so appealing to collectors beyond just the errors? Well, it's not just about rarity, it's about symbolism. Texas represents freedom, power, and independence. It's a state that means a lot to millions of Americans. Many collectors specifically seek out Texas quarters in top condition to complete their state sets. But when you throw in dramatic minting mistakes or bizarre flaws, you elevate that coin into the realm of serious numismatics. So, are you ready for the moment of truth? A 2004 Texas state quarter with a major minting error, such as a double die, off-center strike, clipped planchet, or wrong metal strike, especially one in mint state condition, has been valued in the numismatic world at an incredible $98,000. Yes, you heard that right, $98,000 for a single quarter. That's the power of history, rarity, and condition, all combining in one small piece of metal. So before you spend your change or roll up your quarters for the bank, take a good long look. That 2004 Texas quarter could be more than just 25 cents. It could be your ticket to a life-changing discovery. If you found this video helpful or exciting, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Coins Hunter USA, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single rare coin story. We've got a lot more incredible finds to share, because the next valuable coin might be hiding right in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy coin hunting.